Yeah, so my brother and my dad are coming up here. So I should have just messaged him, and I didn't. I checked to see if he messaged me. But my dad's supposed to be coming up here. My brother's coming up here. He said he's going to drop me off some waters. I didn't go to the grocery store like I thought about earlier. I went to the coffee shop, got a coffee, but I didn't go down far enough to the grocery store. I wanted to get some waters, and if people have a conversation with me, then I was going to give them a bottle of water because it's hot as hell out. There she goes. The lady that rides the bus. I've seen her walk around here a couple times. She looks like she's going to the bus. I thought about asking her one time, but I don't know. I thought about asking people on the bus. Let me know if you guys would like a video where I just talk to people on the bus, because they got some wild ideas. Like the lady this morning was talking about Trump and Iran and political, the conflict in the Middle East. So it's just interesting to hear other people's perspectives on things, and that's why I'm out here. Like, obviously I have a bias. I have my own opinions, but I try to look at everything objectively. Like, and I try to respect other people's opinions, and I always try to give them a chance to explain themselves, like really dig into the details, and I want to see the justifications and why people think the way that they do, and I want to challenge my own ideas and my own beliefs. That's what it's all about. I don't want to push my ideas onto anyone else. I want somebody to challenge my ideas, so I can learn. That's the whole point. And hopefully other people have that same perspective, and I can do the same thing for them. Good morning. Can I ask you guys a few questions? Awesome. Do you want to hold the mic?
What are our questions about?
So, just about animals, really.
Animals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you could talk into it, that would be perfect.
I'm on film.
Yeah. Are you okay being on my video? It's for my YouTube channel.
Sure.
I don't have that many followers yet, subscribers. But yeah, so my first question is just, how do you feel about animals in general?
Well, I think animals were put on Earth for man to use to their benefit.
Right. Yeah.
And so, but abusing animals is clearly not true. But ultimately, mankind has dominion over animals.
Right. So that was kind of my second question. Do you think that it's okay to abuse animals, or how do you feel about that?
Well,
so you just answered that. You're against animal abuse.
Well, so then it gets gray, right? What constitutes abuse?
Yeah. So what do you believe? Do you think that there's abuse in animal agriculture?
Perhaps. So ultimately, if you're a carnivore, you're going to kill animals and eat them.
Right.
So now, is there such thing as killing an animal humanely?
Right.
I'd argue yes. But is there such a thing as letting animals starve, keeping too many and they starve,
right?
Abusing them, like beating them,
right?
So yeah, there's a fine line there of what constitutes abuse.
So there's a couple of things you said there. So we'll go back first with beating them. There's some standard practices that allow blunt force trauma as a way of humanely like disposing of like an animal that's like
Disposing
sick.
as in killing them?
Yeah, like if they're sick or if they have an injury and they don't want to pay for the vet, then sometimes they just there's some it's standard practice where they take them and they beat them on the ground, or they take a lead pipe and just fill them with a lead pipe.
I think now we have much more efficient ways of putting an animal down.
Right.
And so, you know, I mean, you have to think about the practicality. If you're a farmer and you've got livestock, so a cow weighs 2,000 pounds, 1,000 pounds. So loading up a non-ambulatory ambulance into a trailer, the only way you're going to do that is drag that animal into a trailer.
Yeah, they like pick them up with forklifts.
Or drag them by their, I mean, or you could call a vet out and put them down. But, I mean, I'm a farmer, and people, now I would never beat an animal to death.
Right,
but certainly, you know, a shot to the head with a firearm will instantly put an animal who's laying in their own excrement.
Right.
Buzzards literally sitting on them, waiting for them to die.
Yeah.
So
that would be a humane way to put down an animal, right? If they're sick and if they can't, you know, do the basic things to take care of themselves.
Yeah, I mean, if they're down, they're not getting up.
So do you think that the animals that are healthy and young that we're forcing into slaughterhouses, do you think that's humane?
Yes.
Even if it's just like, you know, the bolt gun, but even if they're healthy and if otherwise they'd be living their lives?
Yes. Mankind are carnivores, and animals are for our existence.
Would you be open to being wrong about that? If they're
sure, I'm always open to being wrong about. I mean, yeah, history is full of people. This very town is evidence of people who were wrong about a topic, and many people died over the issue. So certainly.
Yeah. So there are studies out that say that you can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
So we're omnivores, so we can eat plants or animals.
Yeah.
So I don't think that really justifies eating animals, though. It doesn't really mean that we have to.
Certainly.
So,
but what if I really like prime rib?
Right. So it's kind of what you're
okay, so
deciding between.
Let me flip it back to you. Since we are omnivores,
right,
and some people choose to be plant-based, and some people don't. So as long as the people, I mean, so what's your criteria then for saying, no, we should force plant-based protein on every human on Earth?
Yeah, so I think that the animals have their own subjective experience of life. Each animal is an individual.
Do animals think about Christmas?
No, but I think they think about their family and their relationships.
Do they think about their child's birthday?
They think about their child, yeah.
I'll tell you this. I can gather cattle. I can separate the moms from the calves. And that afternoon, after I ship the calves, the cows will be out in the pasture grazing.
Yeah.
And the bulls will be looking to mate with them to do it all over again.
Yeah, that's wrong.
No, it's not. So, it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Would you like to?
So when you separate the cows, those babies and those mothers will cry for weeks.
They don't.
They cry for weeks.
They cry overnight and they're done.
They cry for weeks. I've been at the farms too.
I'm a rancher.
Yeah.
They cry overnight and the next day they're grazing.
Okay, so you admit they at least cry overnight, so you know that they're crying overnight.
Only because their bags are full and they want to feed. Not because, oh, my child.
No, it's definitely for the child. So we'll do some more research. Watch Dominion. So that wasn't too bad. He was open. That was a decent conversation, but obviously he's got his own opinions and he's not really open to being wrong about it. You could tell.